Hello and welcome to Horse Sense. I'm Mohit Lalwani to bring you all the horse racing action from Singapore on the track and from behind the scenes. Well, on this episode, there's plenty on the track and from behind the scenes, where we went to one of the finest equine hospitals in the world.
The Singapore racecourse at Kranji saw an interesting mix of activity as the Singapore Turf Club hosted the first ever Korean Racing Trophy on the 26th of July. While the purse of 250,000 Singapore dollars itself was impressive, what was interesting was that 3 Korean thoroughbreds had flown in for the 1,200 meter sprint in what was clearly now an international, if not a match, between Singapore and Korea. At the outset, it's going to take the much newer Korean Racing Authority to develop its bloodstock pool to the level that exists in Singapore, but this was certainly the right place to start. In the parade ring, the top 3 contenders were Super Winner, My Lucky Strike, and Wimbledon. Wimbledon from Friedman's stable, on the other hand, was coming off a second-placed finish, but that was in a Group 3 and his, at least on paper, should have been easier. Super Winner from Theo Kaiser's yard was the then 3-year-old and coming into this race on the back of 2 victories, all with KB Sue on board. My Lucky Strike from Mark Walker's yard was also coming into this race on the back of 2 victories and was the favourite with Nunes in the saddle. It wasn't in fact long before the jockeys were mounted and sent off to the start to be loaded and set away.
Well, we actually were thinking about running him in this race, and it was a bit of a question mark because his last start, if he was on a run and would have won, he wouldn't have been able to get into this race. So he had a bit of mucus in his throat after he had galloped, and so we scratched him, and this was the next option. He has, his first start on the turf, he actually ran second to Affleck, and then his second start, he pulled a muscle in his back. But subsequent to that, we've given a couple of workouts on the turf, and he's fine. He's good on the turf too.
The horse is fantastic for me also. I very thankful for the Theo Kaiser always support me, and the trainer Mr. So also same. I'm very happy. To me, that day he tried quite well for me, and also when I look at the timing, when he's still plenty in him for me. If he last 600 meters he can do it about 34.4. It's a fantastic horse. He's traveling all the way. Is plenty in hand everything. I just try to wait for the straight. That's all. It's a very simple to ride this horse. Very good.
Super Winner got a super lead-in to the turn and from there, once he was asked, responded to win with an air of dominance. Wimbledon didn't settle early and possibly did not get the best race home with daylight all the way home. Super Winner, a son of Cofero, has taken his earnings to nearly 400,000 Singapore dollars with this victory, much to the delight of his owners and connections who made their way to the presentation area.
Experience her first in Singapore with the running of the Korea Racing Authority Trophy, a tremendous success and won today brilliantly by Super Winner. Mr. Lim Song-han will now present the prizes for the Korea Racing Authority Trophy of 2015, as we've just witnessed, won brilliantly by Super Winner. And to receive the winning owners trophy, please welcome Mr. Jeffrey So. Congratulations to Jeffrey So, and what a terrific horse Super Winner has turned out to be for him. That's his 6th win from 9 starts, and prize money now well and truly heading up to about $350,000. Congratulations to you. The winning trainer, and a big thrill for this man, Theo Kaiser. Superbly prepared by Theo for his biggest payday today, Super Winner. This was his biggest test, and he's come through in flying colours, winning the race by a length and a quarter. And the winning jockey, very popular, KB Sue. Well handled by KB Sue, up on the pace, but as he mentioned earlier on in the interview, he's a very easy horse to ride, and a terrific performance by horse, rider and also trainer. And well done to Jeffrey So, the winning owner as well. It is Super Winner who takes out the Korea Racing Authority Trophy.
To make sure a thoroughbred performs to his optimum potential, it is essential that he gets a free flow of oxygen to fuel his fast-paced and demanding gallop. A horse's activity in this regard can be divided into anaerobic and aerobic.
An anaerobic activity doesn't require oxygen. So for the first 30 to 60 seconds of intense exercise, the horse will use anaerobic activity until his body can get enough oxygen to his muscles, and then he'll slowly turn over to aerobic activity, which he'll use from then on to give the power to his muscles. Okay, so they usually switch from anaerobic to aerobic, and the horse, because he needs more oxygen for the aerobic activity, his heart rate will go up to pump more blood around, his respiratory rate or his breathing rate will go up to get more oxygen in, and his temperature goes up because the aerobic activity produces more temperature than the anaerobic activity. And also specific to the horse, they have a very big spleen which holds a lot of red blood cells which carries the oxygen. That contracts and gives them a lot more ability to carry oxygen around.
A horse's respiratory passage is at play when it comes to the wind flow factors, an intricate mechanism that needs regular servicing.
The nasal passage and where the air enters into the lung or the trachea, and they have a larynx or an opening and closing so they can eat food and not get food into their lung. If those areas are blocked from disease, or if the horse is a roarer or has another problem, then it will reduce the oxygen flow. And also if they have a lung problem, so if they have infection in their lungs, that'll reduce the oxygen that gets into the blood and therefore will reduce their ability to have aerobic activity. Because they need the oxygen, the limiting factor in aerobic activity is the oxygen supply. So they have enough glucose usually, they have enough of everything else, the limiting factor is the oxygen. So if we have an obstruction somewhere in his upper respiratory system or his lungs, he can't get enough oxygen, and that will then make less aerobic activity and he won't have the energy to supply to his muscles.
So what exactly is a roarer and how does one fix it?
A roarer is when the horse's larynx, one side of it doesn't open properly. So the larynx has two sides and it opens and closes as the horse breathes and swallows. If one side doesn't open properly, we call that a roarer. There's different grades of roarers. They can be a minor to very severe. If they're very severe, the horse will need surgery. If they're in the minor areas, we can run them over shorter distances because then they can use more anaerobic activity than aerobic activity. But that'll depend on the horse's ability and the trainer as well.
Performance aside, one of the big concerns for a trainer is the lactic acid buildup, which occurs after a horse has run a race, as this causes fatigue.
Well, lactic acid buildup is mostly from the anaerobic activity, and it produces what we call fatigue. So when a horse or a person fatigues, it's the lactic acid buildup in the muscle that stops the muscle from working so well and causes pain and aches. So it's actually an inherited function. So every horse and every individual will have a level of lactic acid that they produce and that they can take away. But it can be affected by feeding, training, and also the horse's action. So if you train a horse and feed a horse correctly and their action is good, you can reduce the amount of lactic acid and increase their ability to take it away, which means they'll recover quicker.
Back in Singapore, and the Emirates Derby weekend hosted a strong card which included the Group 1 Derby, the Group 3 PyGT Gold Cup and the Group 3 UT Classic over 1800 metres, which saw the Laurie Laxon saddle galloper Step It Up continue his resurgent form. He took on the likes of Wild Geese and Slew of Load and switched off early in the race by Nunes. It seemed like it was only going to be a matter of time before he found his best racing legs.
Yeah, he have class, you know. He's small horse but have a big heart. He always give 100%, so today I was worried about the weight, but he's the best horse in the race, so he got the job done.
Step It Up has taken his earnings to nearly 2 million Singapore dollars with this victory, and when one considers that he has beaten the Emirates Singapore Derby winner in the Queen Elizabeth back in April, his connections must have cast one eye on the Longines Gold Cup jockey statue, even as they went up for the presentation.
Champion of Singapore racing over the last 2 or 3 years, of course, a 3-year-old Triple Crown winner. Step It Up for the Tivik stable, and representing the stable, Mr. Ali. Congratulations. So carrying the high weight against younger horses with a lower weight, he's been too good, and a tremendous win by Step It Up. Laurie Laxon, the winning trainer, and representing the stable this afternoon, Shane Ellis, the assistant trainer. Well done, Shane. Congratulations, saddling up 2 winners already today with Amazing earlier on, and now the first of our feature race winners with Step It Up. Manuel Nunez, our champion rider here in Singapore at the moment, continues on another beautiful ride on Step It Up. Well done, Manuel, taking out the first of the feature races here this afternoon. So thank you to all involved with the presentation and the Winning Connection Step It Up after the first of our feature races, the first of 3 feature races, the UT Classic Stakes.
Laurie Laxton was back on the presentation dais a few races later when Daniel lowered the colours of Wimbledon in a desperately tight Paititi Gold Cup over 1200 metres, pairing up with Derby-winning jockey Corey Brown to make it a very special day for the two of them.
Yeah, it was funny, Matt, when before the entries come out, I hopped off Wimbledon mainly because of the weight. I just thought I didn't want to really be wasting hard on a big day, and then it so happened that Titanium came out with 50.5, so I'd already taken the ride, so I had to get down, but I'd already taken the ride on this horse. He is a lovely horse. Wimbledon's actually going really, really well. You can see I've only just beat him right on the line, but full credit to Shane. They've got him back from obviously a bleeding attack, but he's always showed lots of promise, the horse. Like I said, his form around him, like around War Affair and stuff, so he's always showed ability. He's definitely a Group 1 horse. But obviously he's just got these little niggling problems, but once he overcomes them, they're going to have a lot of fun with him.
Now I'd like to invite Mr Michael Chin to present the prizes for the Paititi Gold Trophy of 2015. The race won brilliantly in a tight contest by Daniel, and representing Oscar Racing Stable, CK Poir. Another win for the yellow and blue of Oscar Racing. Well done, and great to see Oscar here on track today, and a terrific trophy, the Paititi Gold Trophy as well. Well done to all concerned there with Daniel. Laurie Laxton, the winning trainer, is over holidaying in France, and representing the trophy on Laurie's behalf is Shane Ellis. Well done to Shane. Nice trophy as well, and Daniel returns after a bit of a break and returns in excellent fashion. Well, not the first time we've seen him up on stage. He's having a great day. The winning jockey is Corey Brown. 1:09.50 the time, and Daniel, nice to have him back racing. He's been a good horse over a long period of time now. Still only a 4-year-old, but that's his 6th win, and he's victorious in the Paititi Gold Trophy. Our congratulations go to all the winners.
Well, and that's all we have on this episode of Horse Sense. As always, thank you for joining us. Do remember you can follow me on Twitter at Mohit Lalvani. Till I see you next time, goodbye. And as always, may the horse be with you.